Check, 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 check. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, 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 welcome in, welcome in. How y'all feeling today? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in to the Stella Maris podcast. We are live and direct, coming to you from somewhere in the universe. What's happening, everybody? Listen, I just want to get everybody in here. We're going to have some conversations. I'm going to bring some people on. There's a lot going on in the world, right? There's a whole lot of shit going on out here. And I just want to talk about it. I want to have a conversation about it. I want to see where you are with it. How you feeling these days? Is this affecting you in any way? Well, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Listen, this will be uploaded on my YouTube channel, so make sure you go and subscribe to me in the link in bio. All right, make sure you subscribe to the link in bio. But yeah, I want to talk about all the shit that's going down. This is a very interesting time we are living in, and you know, sometimes I wonder if I'm in a dream. And sometimes I wonder if I'm dreaming, I'm actually in reality. Look, I had one of those surreal dreams last night, and I had this in the dream, I had to check myself and find out, wait a minute. I had to ask myself, how did I get here? And I'm like, is this a dream? Because it was so real. And I didn't know if I was in a dream or reality in this dream that I was having last night. And it was one of those things. I haven't had a dream like that in a long time, and I couldn't decipher if I was actually in a dream or if this was reality. And the only thing that made me realize it was a dream was I was in a place where I never been. I knew the people I was with, but I was wondering how I got there. And like I had to come into a I had to tap into my consciousness, right? And like realize, like, wait a minute, there's no way this is real, because how did I even get here? It was one of those things. We at the countdown. We're at the countdown of TikTok, y'all. TikTok, we're gonna be leaving this platform, and I don't know. Do you think TikTok is really about to end? Do you think TikTok is about to be out of here? You think it's going to be over with? I can't even read these things. This chat is going so fast. This live chat. No, everyone says no. TikTok is here. No, no, no. Hey, you gonna look up that shit's gonna. That app will be deleted off your phone. It's a publicity stunt. Listen, I don't know. I don't even, like I told you, this dream got me like, I don't know if I'm here or not. I don't know if this is a dream I'm in or reality. I just can't tell. I just can't tell. Going on, how many of you feelers? Like, I'm a feeler, right? And I'm done feeling. Like, I'm over this whole, like, I don't know what to feel about this shit. I don't know what to feel. I don't know how to feel. I don't know, I'm hearing all the Pope did unlock this, and the drones and the orbs and all of these things that are going on, right? And I don't know how to feel about any of it. All right. I don't something is not really registering with me, though. I'm gonna be honest. Because normally I can pick up. But something is not really registering all the way with me. Now, a little backstory. The first time I've seen an unidentified flying object, now it's an unidentified phenomenon, whatever the hell they want to. Why they want to change the shit name now? Like, what's that shit about? But anyway, I was like 16. Me and my cousin, we grew up in the burbs, right? So we're walking down in the street, and you can see the sky right above you, and all of a sudden we seen this green light. It was green, and it came down, and it took off. And we looked at each other like, oh, shit. And he got all excited. He was like 13, my little cousin. He was like, I knew I was going to see a UFO one day. I knew I was going to see a UFO. And I was like, is that what that was? Right. So that was my first time seeing something like that. Then as I got older, I would look up at nighttime. Like I like everyone like look at the stars. And I would look up at nighttime. And I would see the stars like go from one star to the other. And it was like way up. It was higher than the plane. The plane our planes in today's world are incredibly primitive to whatever technology these beings outside of this realm have. And so I would see it was so far up, like, twinkle, twinkle, little star kind of thing. But they would just, the transition was so smooth. And then sometimes they'll make, wiggly lines and they'll move. And I was like, All right. And then when I went out of, I used to live in Atlanta and I would see them all the time. I even caught one, I caught two on camera. And people thought I was crazy, right? So this is like 2018, I started seeing them a lot. And to the point now, I'm like, I mean, they're here. Like, they've been here. I don't think they ever left. I think they've always been amongst us, right? Maybe cloaked, or maybe some just couldn't see. But I've always seen them. And when I went to Mexico, I think I videotaped that and I put that on TikTok. It was just white orb. It was just, it started out looking like a plane or a helicopter. I thought it was, but then it just got bigger, and it would just, the light would get bigger, and then it would contract, and it'll get bigger and contract. I was like, what the hell is that? Always seen them. A couple months ago, while I'm here, when I go walking the dog, I always see something in the sky moving. To the point, I guess I'm desensitized about the shit. Like, it doesn't really, it's like, oh, okay. But one day, now honestly, I don't know if this was the mushroom but it was a microdose. It was a microdose during the day. And I had it was a microdose cut with some lion's mane. It was it wasn't even like a trip. It was just a microdose. So, I'm sitting out on the balcony and I always see stuff like all kind of stuff. But this was really interesting. This was a flame. A flame was flying in the sky. It was I know y'all. It wasn't I know it wasn't the mushroom, no. I don't think it was the mushroom, because it wasn't like I had a high dose. It was like a small, a tenth of an ounce or whatever. It was small. And I was like, I went to go grab my phone, and when I came back to, of course, it was gone. But that was the last time I seen anything. And that was probably about a month ago. Then all of a sudden now, all these events that are taking place. So I wanted to open up the floor. I want to talk about that. I want to get everyone's, thoughts and opinions of what you're seeing, what you think this is. But before I do, I'm going to set this up like this. Now, how many of you are familiar with Dr. Delbert Blair? How many of you are familiar with Dr. What's up? Rashad, the poet, is in the building. I want you to come on here, sir. Dr. Delbert Blair was like this master physician, I'm going to call him. Metaphysical. He was just a doctor in esoterics. He was one back in the days. He was like ahead of his time. I heard about Dr. Blair late 90s, early 2000s when I came across his information. He's crossed over now, but he was one of the first melanated man. I won't say first, but a known melanated man in our community to talk about extraterrestrials, right? Whereas that was really not. I'm frozen. Did they cut me off? Okay, so that wasn't really discussed much amongst our community. We talk ancestors, right? And this can be a connection to that. But he made it real simple and plain. He brought this information about extraterrestrials, about draconians, about all the different star systems and how we are star children, how we star born. I mean, he really laid it out for us. and where we can grasp it and ingest it. Like, oh, we honestly, we always thought this was just like a white folk conversation. Let's keep it real, right? Because you never really heard a lot of us talk about extraterrestrial abductions and all of this, or sightings. Like, we ain't never seen that. What are you talking about? Ah, that shit ain't real. Something wrong with them. Blah 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 blah. Well, as time goes on, he was one of the contactees. Like, he made contact. And he tells his story. You can go out there and you can find it about Dr. Delbert Blair. But there's a lecture he did, and I can't find this lecture, and this has stuck with me, because he was a prophet, in my opinion, because he would say things. He would warn us about things that were going to be taking place, and he would tell us, don't do this and don't do that. Like, I remember him saying, watching his lectures about talking about nanobots and diodes and protecting yourself and the draconians. He was the first person I ever hear talk about draconians the way that he did, and how, like, they took his wife, and ever since then he's been on this mission to expose them and everything about them. But he said this, and if you are familiar with him and you remember him saying this and you know what lecture this is, please hit me up, because I'm looking for this lecture. He said this. I'm not paraphrasing because I can't say it verbatim. He said something to the tune of, there's going to be two groups of beings that come here. Like, the first group that comes, these are not your friends. They're going to pose as if they're your friends. It's some kind of deception going on. But he said, these are not your friends. He said, it's the group that comes after. These are our people. These are the friendlies. I forgot what he called them. He called them something. These are our friends. But the ones that I guess, put it this way, from what I'm seeing, what I'm resonating with, whatever this is that they're putting all on television for you to see, I don't know if they are friends. That is the wrong effect. I don't know, because something about all of this don't feel, I don't know. I don't know what to make out of it. I'm not saying that they're not real. I'm not saying that they're not real. I'm not saying it. It's just, I remember him saying about something about these two groups. And then I watched someone put a little clip about Elon Musk's brother and the company that he owns, some kind of technology that he owns, that deals with holograms. And they showed little clips of them putting these orbs out, and I'm like, what I'm saying? Like, first they have the government disclosure, and then like a week or two later, then all of a sudden, this is going on. Then they act like they don't know what's going on. Like, it's just too much. I don't know what to make of this shit. I don't trust them, number one. You have to go, kind of what's resonating with you, with your soul, and what your spirit is telling you. And something in my spirit is telling something ain't right with all this. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, the shit with the Pope is doing, like, all of this, we're getting bombarded. And it seems like there's a major psyop going on, right? Like a major psyop going on. I'm going to go ahead and start opening up these lines and see who wants to come on. So here we got, what is this, Trifling Success? You were live and on the air. What's your name and where you calling from? Hey, Audrey, how you doing, sis?
What's up?
What's up? How you doing?
Oh yeah, I've been doing a little homework on this myself,
Okay. Well, what you got?
Yeah.
What you got?
Well, I was just listening to you saying about the first wave and the second wave.
Yeah.
That first wave is already here. They're the ones that's here. They've been underground for a long, not underground. When people say underwater or under the ocean, people think they mean they're just walking around underwater. That's not what that means. It means they have a cavern down there, like caverns with air in them. They built bases down there.
Yeah.
All these places have air in them. They're literally walking around like us with like caves and stuff with air in them.
It's a
When
whole
they got here,
civilization down there.
whole civilization. But when they got through gates 4 and 5, and for y'all don't know what that means Stargates 4 and 5.
Yeah.
The ones that Pope was just said to open up. He
Uh-huh.
said he opened up a portal that led to many other portals. Those are the ones they took over a while ago, and they conquered the surface of Earth a while ago, and then they threatened to go to the inner Earth and start taking out our people inside the inner Earth. That's where they're at now. I don't know if they're still fighting that battle, if they're losing or they're winning. But when they say they're underwater, that's what they're talking about. Is Enki and his crew? They're down there. They've been down there. They look like me and you. But
Word. So hold on. So
yeah.
slow down a little bit. Back up a little bit for the people in the back. All right, for us slow folks, because we not all
Mhm.
advanced like that. Some of us don't know what the fuck going on. To break down a little bit, if you can, about these gates. What you when you said the
Oh,
yeah, break
oh
that down a
yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. Them gates just shorten the length of travel between like point A
Mm.
and point B.
Okay, like
Those was
portals.
our gates.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
those was our gates, not theirs. This planet had lots of different forms of protection. I'm talking about dragons, titans, giants.
Right on.
We had
Yeah,
fairies, mermaids. Everything was
we
here.
still got
It was
them.
our yeah, yeah. Them was for our protection. Even the animals. Every animal here
Yeah,
on this planet was for our protection
I
at one
see.
point.
I
And when these
see.
people got here, these fallen, they literally turned everything against us. And what they couldn't defeat, they turned it into hard stone with these
Mm.
flashing lights that they flash. Yeah, they flash these lights, and anything that's not in shade or that's looking directly at these lights, they turn into stone like hard pillars. Uh, they just had an example of that even happening in modern times with these army people that fired a rocket at one of their ships, one of
Yeah.
these fallen ships. But it wasn't our people inside these ships. It was just the Galactic Federation, the lower tier ones. They be in these spaceships all the time flying around here. They shot one down and it got mad, and six beings came out and they formed some kind of a ball when they grabbed each other. It turned real bright, and real bright light shot up into the sky, kind of like Goku shooting a command wave. It was real bright, and
Wow.
everything out there turned to stone except for two soldiers that was in the shade that didn't get to see it.
Well,
That
hold
same
on. When
light.
was when was this though? When did all this go
That
down?
was like modern times recently. Like that wasn't not too long ago. That was like within the last 10 years.
So
Yes.
you
Uh,
said
I,
that what of the reiterate what you said. They shot at
mhm.
them, right? What turned to stone?
Everything out there that was live, like bio, anything, all the people, 20 something soldiers turned to stone.
Oh, word.
20 something. They took them to a
Soldiers.
lab and yes, they took them to a lab and was examining them, and they said they was like no different than limestone when they was examining them. So they have this technology.
You
They've
know
been
what?
using it.
When I hear that, right?
Mhm.
It reminds me. You ever see some of the images that they have of these stone underwater? There's like these statues
Oh yeah.
of
Hmm.
people that are made of stone, and you're thinking like, well, how did they get down there? What happened?
Yeah. Well,
So that sounds, kind of similar. Like that would make sense if we saw it, if
yeah.
they had some kind of technology that it
A lot of these statues are
turned
so
you
elaborate.
right. Cause yeah, they're
Yeah.
very detailed, and it's underwater, and it's like
Hmm.
there's people. They're like they're figures, and it's
Yeah, they're
like
so elaborate. You can
yeah.
tell they used to be alive. Is what happened. They used to be alive, and when that light hit them,
Mm,
like even the ones that they say were giant statues,
right.
no, those used to be our guardians, and they got us thinking they were enemies. They were our guardians, and when
Mm-hmm.
they turned them into stone, that's why you see all the detailing, and some of them still got bone for teeth. Even those big giant trees that they call mountains now, all of those they was cut down because they was trying to terraform the place. Those
Wow.
seeds came from their planet, not from our planet. Those seeds don't match our planet. Those
Mm.
seeds came from them, their planet. The dinosaurs, when they was cross miscegenating, those were their dinosaurs. They matched them.
So hold on.
Giraffes and elephants
What do you
matched
mean by
us.
there? Like who's
Our,
there?
our, our cousins, our people that crossbred and made us with some of their people on their planet. It's
Mm.
two different types of our people.
Talk to me.
One is Adam and Eve. They all got flooded out for the most part. And then what they ain't telling y'all is there's other breeds of them and us here that ain't Adam and Eve. I know Inky got a breed with him and one of Eve's daughters, which is one clique of us. And then y'all hear Yahweh saying his firstborn is Israel. He had a breed here.
Yo,
Um,
this is deep because I was having a conversation earlier today. The same thing. The way you're
mhm,
saying it, this story is being bringing brought to the surface in many different ways. Because I was having a
mhm.
conversation with one of my sisters, and we were talking about the I guess prototypes of women, and she was
Oh yeah.
talking about the daughters of Lilith, the daughters of Eve, and the daughters of
Yes.
Adam. And
Yep.
I was like, that really did something, trigger something in me because I was like, that explains a lot about the different type of energies that's here.
Yeah,
So when you're talking about
you being nice.
I am. I really am, because I got to upload
I
this
know
on
what
another platform. So
I know what you're saying.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that these stories are coming to the surface, because now we're beginning to see why all these it has to happen, right? If do you believe that we're at the closing of the age and going into the age of Aquarius? Do
I
you
don't see how we can't be because there
okay.
ain't much more to reveal at this point. So I don't see how we can't be. Like, what else is really left to reveal
uh,
besides actual sightings?
right. So I'm gonna skip around a little bit, because when you had said something earlier about these are our protectors, right?
Mhm.
So there's a
Yeah,
story. This is a different story. Are you familiar with Dr. Malachi York?
a little bit.
A
I've
little bit.
seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he has a this he has a book called the Holy Tablets, and in this book he was talking about, the same book that everyone talks about, Zacharias Stitchin, not his book, but the story of Inky and Lil Murdoch Tiamat, right? That whole story of Tiamat. So what I do, I listen to everybody in their stories, and what I'm doing, I extract what resonates to bring my story. So, or to help me tell my story. So there's a there's something that he says about Tiamat. So when I knew, basically the story goes, Inky and Enlil, when they came here looking for gold, you know how the story is. They come here.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is that there were people here. The people that were
Exactly.
here were women, right?
Mhm.
Women were here.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So,
had men and women. Yep.
but the women were here first.
Yeah, the
Did
women
you?
were here first.
We were here. So this is what let me get to the story. So when they came here, they got into some kind of rift with Tiamat. Now they got everybody thinking that Tiamat is this dragon, right? But they're the humans.
Mhm.
Everybody's a human, but when they come here and deal with Tiamat, right? They can't. But this is the greatest story never told, because they can't. If they say that Tiamat was an actual woman, then they have to say that, well, yeah, y'all was here, so they made her a
Yeah,
dragon instead. This is what I'm saying.
yep.
So when they
Yep.
started poking at her and doing things with her, I should say, antagonizing her, she called on Leviathan. She conjured
Mhm.
up the sea creatures, right? She conjured up
Mhm.
the beings of the sea. So,
Yeah.
and then they lost their mind and this and that and the other, and they wound up murdering her and scattering her. How the story goes, it's kind of similar to the Osiris story, but whatever.
Yeah.
But when you said that they're protectors, right? That made me think of that story, because they came here. I guess they were trying to bully her and take the resources of what they needed, or whatever contract they came up with. I believe the contract was breached in some kind of way. And so when they went to war, like that war in Revelations is actually the war of the Titans, that have already
Mhm.
taken place. Or they trying to rewrite the script or replay it again. So all this to say, I'm connecting the dots when you was like, yeah, those are they're protectors of this realm, or protectors of the earth. Yes, absolutely, and they've always been, even back in those times when she called on them to help fight against the Anunnaki the first time. But
Yeah.
but there was one other point I was going to say about. Oh, and also now the mermaids. You had kind of said something about that. The mermaids are also these. Those are like the primordial goddesses or gods, the primordial gods that came out the water. And there's folklore about that, about Mami Wata, this primordial goddess of the water of the realm. And all the different cultures have these spin-offs of these gods, or some call them orishas, or um, luau's,
Mhm.
or whatever the case may be, wherever you're from, the part of the world that connect to these deities of the water. And I'm just finding it fascinating now that things are coming out the water. All right. The portals, the stargates, everything that you're saying, I'm connecting to. Like I said, I'm trying to connect these dots for what it means to me. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has a different story. Everyone is here to tell their story, right? Or share their story, because we've been told about our origins from all these different sources, but
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
how do we know? And only way for me, truth is a resonance, like it vibrates. So
Yeah.
when someone says something that's truth for you, whatever that may be, you're gonna feel it resonate with you. And I think it's a DNA activation actually to help
I
you
believe so.
remember. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I do
yeah,
believe so.
Ashe.
DNA memory and all that. Yeah,
Indeed.
you hit that right on the head.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Them suckers was I used to think the highest god was part of their clique on that planet. I used to always think that. And then I started getting into this. Man, they fight for kingship on that planet all the time. They're only gods when they leave that planet and come amongst lower beings like us.
Right.
They're
Absolutely.
just like, yeah, they're just brothers and kings and stuff on that planet, and that throne get passed around all the time when they fight for it. The true source of energy ain't a god. It's higher than that. It don't need a title. It's not even a he or a she. It's
It's
his
just
own
source.
energy.
Right. It's just the source
Yeah, and
creation. Yeah. Ashe.
when they get in trouble, right? They won't even if there was something that powerful like that on that planet, they wouldn't have to leave that planet, such as fix their atmosphere when it needed gold because I mean it was losing radiation and all this other stuff.
Right.
When they say we should just ask the creator for help, one of them sidestepped that, didn't even want to talk to the actual creator. They tried to go another route, which was when they hit the hammer bracelet and started coming here to Earth to look for gold. They rather come this route and come through a hammer bracelet where they always lose their lives instead of just asking the Almighty Creator for help. So that's telling me they wouldn't in good standings with him, which tells me that planet is the fallen.
Hmm. That's
Yeah, like
interesting.
you said, it's all interpretation. It's like my way of looking at it,
No,
but
I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
hey, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's perception. Like how it's good to hear different versions, different sides of the story because we all have. Why do you think we are all here? You know what I'm saying? Like we are all here for a reason. Like I have my own little theory. There's what 8 billion people on the planet or whatever. How many billions of us? What if everyone that's on this planet now were all the beings that were here from the beginning? Um, in a reincarnated form, like we all agree. Like so, in numerology, we're going into this ninth year, so they say, right? In numerology, 9 is completion. And I've been meeting a lot of people who are nines, life path numbers. And
oh, okay,
so there's this vibration that's going on. Like many people have come back here, many souls have come back here to
oh
either finish the job,
yeah, right,
you know what I'm saying, or
yeah,
renew it because simultaneously when something ends, something begins.
yes, ma'am. I got a theory about that. I
What's
don't know if
that?
you want to hear it, but
Sure, tell me.
my theory is when you look at people getting older and their hair start turning gray, that's wisdom. It's like a fruit tree is showing me that my soul ain't quite ripe yet. It ain't ready to pass on to the next realm until all my hairs are white. Once you know what I'm saying, once you come back, you see all your hairs is white, or somebody they ain't coming back here no more. They passed. Once they pass away, they're not
Okay.
coming back to this realm no more. That's just my theory of it. But I'm telling you just the things I've come to realize, and I just let the Akashic records hit me. Like I just sit there, I don't
Okay.
fight nothing, I don't try to think. I just let things hit me, and these are the things that's just coming out of me. But
Right.
yeah, I pay attention to the hair nowadays.
That's what's up. I like that. That's what your
Yeah.
crown of glory, your wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I say, oh. Mr. Rashad, come on in here now. I know you got some etymology and break down these words for us. You have some history. You alive and on the air, sir. What you got?
Peace. I love the setup.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to come
Yeah,
up. I'm trying to be on the come up.
you look like you made. You look like you made it. Yeah, I was in the other live, and I seen your setup, and I was like, oh damn, she about to forget about me.
No, not you,
Nah, I just
sir.
playing.
Not you. How you
I was
doing?
like, well, I'm doing amazing.
How's the
I
book?
like the topic.
Let me. Oh, the
Oh
topic.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get y'all in here. I'm waiting for some more y'all to come up in here. So, how? Tell everyone who you are, what you do, and what you got for us today on this topic, sir.
Oh, my name is Rashad Poet. I'm an author, a poet, of course. I got 3 books available. I talk about history. My main thing is etymology. Uh, my last book, I found out that I was trying to figure out how to find the information that nobody's finding. So I just started studying the goddesses. And
Oh,
as soon as I started studying the goddesses, everything fell into my hands. And I
oh,
was like, whoa, 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 here we go. That's what it was.
yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? That's what it
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
indeed, indeed.
So
So,
here
what
we
do-
are.
what what do you think about what's going on? What's happening in these skies? What's happening? What do you where are we in your opinion right now?
So what I think is I think there's things that happen naturally,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's things that happen through manipulation to
Mm-hmm.
make other people seem like they have the power, right?
Right.
So the things that we're seeing could be supernatural, right? But there's people that exist that'll say, "Oh, it's a drone, it's this, it's those people over here and those people over there that control these things," just to make us think that these people have more power than they do.
Mm.
I am Isis. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe that these people have as much power as they think. But I think the only thing that's confusing is that they're gonna try to play a role in these things. Just like when we find new information and we start to share it amongst ourselves in public.
Mm-hmm.
Next, on the news, they'll start talking about what we've been talking about, or a movie
Right.
will come out about what we've been talking about. So they'll act like
Exactly.
they gave us something.
Mm. Have you seen any of these drones or orbs? I mean, we see drones all the time, but these orbs, have you seen any of them? Or have you ever
Um,
seen any um, unidentified flying
I
objects?
yeah, I'm about to say. I like to say I've seen things.
You seen things?
I've seen things that I wish I had a witness. Like, man, I wish I had a witness for what I just saw, but
Oh yeah.
you know,
Hey,
it's
sometimes
never a witness. It's usually when you're just outside by yourself and you're just relaxing, and then
right.
something
So
flies over your head, and you're like, "What? Nobody will believe me."
I don't. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that's done on purpose. It's for your eyes to see, right? It's for you to connect to. It's something that maybe it's been revealed for you to do more of a deep dive for what you saw.
No, I'm in 100% agreement. I think you have to be on a certain frequency,
Yes, sir.
and it happens,
Right.
and it happens specifically in a moment where only your eyes can witness it and your soul
Mm.
can accept it, right? Because
Ooh.
once you pull your cameras out and you do all these things, you lose track of the moment because now you're thinking earthly about it.
Right.
Like, oh, I could share this and go viral. I could da da da. Nah, the best moments I ever had was my phone's 1% battery. I pull my phone out, my camera won't work, and things are just happening. And I'm like, you know what? I guess it's just meant for me to enjoy this moment and appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, so sometimes things are revealed for you to see that there's more, right? There's a lot more than meets the eye, right? There's a lot more for us to know and tap into. Like, have you ever had your ears ring? Like ears
Indeed.
ringing? They call it what, tetanitis? What do you call it? They call it whatever that is. I think it's more than that. I heard a long time ago that it's like transmissions, like something is trying to send a message or a signal to you. um so I was talking earlier about Dr. Delbert Blair, and before him we were all talking, like, back in the days, but still today many of us attribute these things. We call them ancestors, right? These are ancestors, these are ancestors. And sometimes when that sound, you hear that sound, some people say it's a different meaning if it's the right ear or if it's the left ear, or whatever the case may be. It's like this something is trying to connect with you. um and it was said, and I forgot which group. I think it was the Nuwabians. It was years ago. I'm not a Nuwabian, by the way. I used to listen to a couple of their shows on Blog Talk
Now,
Radio.
shout out to the Nuwabians though. I
Shout out to
remember
them.
them back in the day. They used to.
Oh, they bought
That
the
was
knowledge.
back when we had the gyms.
Yeah, they bought the knowledge. And it was within this group that they were saying that when you hear that, it's like prepping you, because there's gonna come a time when you're gonna hear exactly what to do, and where to go. Right? It's like getting you ready to for like an announcement, so to speak. Like,
Right.
head to mountain 7, like kind of shit. Like something is gonna come through to let you know where you need to go and where you need to be at a certain time and location. So I'm gonna say this. It might sound a little weird, but it's a true story. I used to travel, like to drive a lot, and when I was coming back to the United States, I was told. I don't know if I should say this online because folks be listening, but there's something special about Georgia, right? There's something very special about Georgia. And when I sit back and I don't know if you live in Georgia, live in Atlanta. You don't live in Atlanta, do you?
No, I live in Virginia.
Virginia, okay. Well, a lot of people were drawn to Atlanta at one, like from the '80s to now, I guess. A lot of folks were just like migrating there, and I kind of went there in from like 2017 to last year. I was there for like about 5 years, and while I was there, and like the whole Dr. York movement was there. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of consciousness there, and at the same time, there's a lot of other stuff going on there. And there's a frequency there, and then that stone mountain that's just made out of pure granite. So there's a lot of metaphysical landmarks, and this is frequency there, and these pine trees. So I guess what I'm saying is, I was told a long time ago that is one of the landing spots, or how can I say, where if something that's coming back for something, for some whatever, those are one of the locations. And so when I watch people on TikTok and things of that nature who see these orbs or whatever, and it's like, we see this all the time, a lot of them are from Georgia. So it just makes me wonder what kind of frequency is over there. And somebody said Georgia makes me want to leave the entire United States. Damn. I've noticed the frequency is something
have a
different.
lot of water?
Huh?
Does Georgia have a lot of water?
Fresh water. Yeah, it has like streams. It has a lot of streams. It's on the coast, but as you go further inland, there's like a lot of streams. And I think there's some springs there, spring waters up a little north, going towards like I think Tennessee is above it. It has mountains. It has a hilly mountainous terrain, and it's full of these Georgia pine trees. And that is a frequency on its own. I don't know if you are familiar with the energy of the pine tree. Resonates with the planetary. Huh?
I wrote a poem about them.
Ooh.
A little
Maybe
bit.
This is why I'm here to bring up this pine tree. Well, it resonates with the planetary energy of Saturn. That's kind of what was kind of connect to. And it was a sister told me a long time ago, if you have any issues, got some problems, well, it's medicinal anyway. The pine needles is medicine. But she was telling me, go barefoot, stand by the tree, and put your back along the trunk and put your head against the trunk, and it's gonna remove whatever it is that's going on with you. And I thought she was, whatever. But it should work. Like, as soon as you do it, you can feel, it's like the tree is extracting energy from your spine. It's really weird. I don't know if anybody ever tried that, but if you buy some big old pines, go try that. Go stand up against that thing and see.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't mean to cut you off, but you know how the trees work, right? The root system.
Yeah.
So like in the forest or anywhere where there's a group of trees, they communicate through the root system, and a tree that's higher up, getting more rain and more sunlight and everything, it can actually transfer that energy to another tree through the root system, right? So when you go out there, us being one with nature,
right,
you take your shoes and socks off, you become like a part of that root system.
Yeah.
Yeah, grounding. Those trees are also records too. They keep record of a lot of stuff.
Right.
Kind of like our hair. Our hair can keep records of our health. That tree can keep records of the earth and the history here too.
And the mushrooms Can't forget
Oh,
about the
don't get started on
mushrooms.
those. Yes.
You can't forget about. Look, I'm telling you, y'all done put me on to something here that really like. Well, I mean, so yeah. Who it was? Doctor? Who was it? No, it was Doctor Sabi. Who would, he was saying the mushrooms are the like the nervous systems of the ecosystem of the whole. Um, what is it? The ecology of the trees and the roots and
Yeah.
plants.
Did you notice? Do you notice that about mushrooms that most of the plants is shaped like the body part that they help out? So the mushroom would be shaped like the brain and the stem on the back. So you know what I mean? That's how you would determine what plant you was using.
Well, I mean, I could see that.
Like
I
like
could
brain
see
food.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that. I wanted to bring another guest on, but I don't think that Mycelium Network across the planet. Absolutely. Who said that? Comedic Healing LLC, Mycelium Network across the planet. Yes. Yes, that's the power of the mushroom. And you know what? I didn't know. All the mountains are connected as well. Like there's a network. So I used to go crystal digging in Arkansas. If you haven't done that, you got to go get that. It'll change your life. Go dig for your own crystals.
Man, that sounds fun.
It's dope. It's like it's a dirty job, but it's fun. Like
I don't care.
it's fun dirt. Um, because it's best to go like right after it rains. It's that's the best time. But
Yeah.
there, when you hit like um the geodes, where they're all like the clusters, where you find the clusters. It's called a vein, and it will run like down from the mountain, and it'll run through the ground, and it'll go all the way to the next mountain. Like it just connects. Everything is connected that we don't even think about, right? I don't know how we get onto this topic, but it may work later. It may connect somehow. But even the mountains are connected, just as the trees and just as the mycelium network is connected as well. So when you look at the plant life, it's us really. It's our system. Everything that we have in our system is connected to the systems of this planet. And one of the things that I think we've have a problem with, we've been severed from connecting to nature. We've been severed from the planet, looking for everything outside it. But all the elements and the minerals and everything that you find in the planet, you're gonna find in the human body. And you're gonna find that our bodies and the systems of our bodies resemble nature in some fashion or form. And like what you said, sir, about the mushroom taking on the shape of a particular body that may help you with that. All foods that are organic, like real foods, have that. Like carrots. Like if you cut a carrot and you look at it, it resembles the iris of the eye. So when they say back in the days, I know when I was younger, they say like you
There
have
you
if
go.
your eyes are bad, like eat carrots. The what is it? The avocado. Um, when you open up and slice and open the avocado, it looks like a woman's womb, right? And so when women are having issues with their uterus, so to speak, those certain female problems that we may have, it is good to eat avocados. So you can find fruit and vegetables that resemble parts of your body that is made to enhance whatever issue, I'm not enhance, but help assist healing with certain ailments that you may be having. There you go. Walnuts and pecans. Pecans look like the brain when you crack it open in the shell. Absolutely, it looks just like the brain. It's even
It
broken
look like
into
something
two
else too, but we ain't gonna
hemispheres.
talk about
What you
that.
say?
So they look like something else too, but we ain't gonna talk about it here.
Y'all
Right.
can't
Like
help yourself, huh? Y'all just can't help yourself, huh?
we pretend.
No, but really, I mean, it may have some benefits to that as well. You never know. So this is why we need to get back into the science of this and really studying the plant life and how it connects to us, to heal us naturally. Because I think everything in your environment that's around you growing naturally is medicine for you. Kidneys, kidney beans. There you go. Obey Oracle. Absolutely. All right, I'm opening up the floor, y'all. We can really just go on with these conversations, but I really do want to swing it back. If anyone has anything to add to what we're witnessing in the sky with these orbs, what we're witnessing in the skies with these uh drones or plasma, what they call it, plasmoids. I mean, when they start saying all these different things, I always
Yeah,
wonder.
they give them different names. So they give them names. They call them anything but what they really are, you know. But I
Right.
don't know if y'all. There's a lot of people here on Earth still. I didn't think it would be this way. By now, I thought since 2013, I live in Ohio. I was heading down the highway and I just happened to look up. I saw our sun sitting there chilling in the sky, right? And down to the left, farther out, there was another sun just sitting there chilling. And as to this
The
day,
two
it was
suns.
so bright. Man, this thing,
I'm gonna ask you, and you come into the room before you could. Can you mute your microphone? Goddess, can you mute your microphone, sweetie? I'll mute it.
there it go. Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
but
Oh yeah.
it was out further. It was just sitting there chilling, right? It would be like a little dot of light at first, and then it would just be this big V of light, like kind of not fire, but like electricity. Just it would be there 1 second, next second this big V would be gone. And me and my son's mom got out on the side of the road, was just staring up. And we was like, if that was our son, it'd be our worst enemy. It was just sitting there all day chilling. So I thought everybody would know about it by the end of the day. So I didn't call nobody. I just kept going and thinking about this thing. And when I closed my eyes, I'd have both suns stenciled in my eyeballs all day. That's how bright this other one was. And
Mm,
here I did my homework on this thing, and I found out they call it it's a dwarf star. You know what I'm saying? They call it the dragon and or God's anger kindled. They call it all kinds of stuff. But that
mm-hmm.
thing is coming here, and it's been in our sky for a long time now. And people be
Uh-huh.
like, "Well, how can we can't see it?" If we look up on certain days, you can see it. Sometimes you'll only see it, but it's a lot of reasons why you can't see it sometimes, though. But they say everybody will get to see it at some point. It'll be like 1/3 of our sky. The closer it get to our sun, the more it swell up and it start to get back hot again. So
So,
this thing
is
is
this? Do you think this is Nibiru?
it is part of the system. Yeah, yeah. Nibiru's definitely around it. It's one of the 7 planets around it. So that fifth and that seventh planet is the ones they say our people are on. Um, these are not the good people. These are the people they say for us not to mess with. They're on the fifth and seventh planet around this sun that came back.
When
One
you
of those
say
big
fifth and
balls,
seventh planet, what do you mean in our solar system or
their
what?
solar system that came back.
So
There's
the
that
one
sun that came back.
that travels along their own ecliptic.
Yes, you know about the ecliptic. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that thing has 7 planets around it and some moons. And
Okay.
yeah, the fifth and seventh planet has our people on it. But yeah,
Okay.
that thing, there'll be a point where everybody will see it though. And they said that people's, that's when they said people's hearts will fail from what they see coming upon the earth
Oh,
and all these
you
different
getting
things.
into the scriptures out here.
Yes. Well, look,
Well,
man, that
it's
thing be
all.
here for so long. Yeah,
I
that
got
thing
a
be here
I
for
got
so
a
long.
my fault. Try. I got a brother in the comments that's a real wise. He's real wise named David. I think he's trying to come up here.
What you
But
say,
if y'all get into, I said I got a brother in the comments named David. He's real wise.
brother?
He just wanted.
Is he trying to come on?
Yeah. Not the comments. My fault. He's in the queue.
He's in the queue. Okay, I'm
Forgive
gonna
me.
bring him on a second. Goddess, I'm gonna unmute your mic, sweetheart. If you have something that you want to add to the build, come on in. Come on in. I don't know what just happened. I unmuted your mic, dear. You can hold on. Let me see something. Hold on 1 second. Invite to unmute. I thought I did invite you. You can invite Wisdom. Turn up their microphone again in 35 seconds. All right.
She's
So
coming.
so we won't have this technical difficulty in the future. When you guys come on the panel, when I invite you in, just mute your microphone, okay? Cuz so we don't talk over each other. And I have to so I'm sorry, Goddess. It said I need to wait 35 seconds. I don't this is weird. I didn't know that it was a time limit. Um but so when you come in, just mute your mic so you can unmute it yourself. Because if I do it, I think there's a some kind of time delay. So and it has a block. There you go. I think you back on. All right. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go and see if I can find the next gentleman. What did you say his name was, Rashad?
His name is David. It's just plain old. It's just David.
King David in the building.
Hey, look, he got some good information.
All right.
Talk,
I'm
about the
okay, here we
stars.
go. Invite to unmute. Give me 1 second. Let me see if this works for her now.
She might be better dropping and coming back.
God, is this the same sister that was on a couple days ago with me? The Capricorn. All right, let me see if I can find. I see Daddy Yo. Oh, David. Here's David. David right here, like bam.
Yeah. There's some etymology about all this that really catches my attention. I feel like they got us looking all over the place, thinking that these things are coming from somewhere other than where they might be coming from. I think a lot of things are coming from like just the North Pole area, inner Earth,
or
like
over the
I think
Arctic wall, maybe.
Right. So when it says extraterrestrial, terrestrial means like of the Earth.
Land
Then
outside the
extra
Earth,
is
right?
like outer, outside. So it could just be outside of what we know of Earth to be, but there's more. There's
Right.
levels to it. Right.
Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you guys this. Now, there's a whole, argument over if we're on a flat Earth or a round Earth. Or is it flat or round? Like, it doesn't matter to me because we on it, right? But my question is this: if it's flat, do we still need to be concerned about pole shifts? Like, is there
I
such
heard you
thing as a
talking.
pole shift?
I heard you talking about that, but
Yeah,
I
I've been
think the
thinking
pole.
about
I
it.
don't. Yeah, I don't think the pole shift is like the poles. I think they disoriented us through flipping the maps, and the pole shift is when our collective consciousness realizes where we are, and we orient ourselves to our actual
Mm,
location.
that's what. I feel that. I definitely feel that. The pole, I
Like
believe,
you,
is the spinal cord, and all the nerve endings that attaches to it. The Kundalini energy as well? Going from the base of the spine, climbing up until it hits the pineal and the pituitary gland to bring forth pure enlightenment. So I always thought that, but because this
look,
thing about round Earth, first it was flat, right? The world thought it was flat, and then all of a sudden it's round, but no one has ever been outside the firmament, so they say, right? They're trying to continue to go outside this dome, if we're in this dome, firmament dome, whatever the case may be. And they're always showing us pictures of this round globe, this round Earth with the axis points, and it's showing all of these cataclysms that's going to take place when the pole shifts, and the water will go here, and the water will all of this land masses will appear and other land masses will disappear, da 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 da, right? Always this fear, right? It's like, oh my God, the world's gonna end, and the maps that they're showing of what it's gonna look like, the Edgar Casey maps, right, of what the Earth will look like after the cataclysm takes place. But then now we have the flat earthers, the flat Earth theory that's resurfacing or being reborn again, and it makes you wonder, well, what will shift if
you
this
you
flat?
believe in the chakras, don't you? You believe in the chakras, right?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
So so if you think about the Earth, right,
Mm-hmm.
and you think about being earthly, you think about like the root chakra, right? We're being earthly, but if we were to have a pole shift within ourselves,
Mm.
we would go from the root chakra pole to operate in our crown chakra, in an awakening, a
Mm.
shift of the poles within ourselves. And then
Right.
if we all do it, the collective consciousness, the whole world's gonna change. So they talk about
Then that may be
the
the
whole world
solar
changing.
flare that they're talking
Yeah,
about too. Right.
because we're electromagnetic, right? So if we're
That's right.
electromagnetic and we're heating up, right? there, so electromagnetics, then you got friction, which is what causes the heat, right? So the friction would be anybody that's operating against us, right? Negative energy is always going to exist, right?
Always.
There's a book that says the devil only exists so that we have the opportunity to show how powerful the most high is,
God
right?
is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
with that,
I agree with that. You're never gonna get rid of. So this is what I always say is when I'm talking in reference to the shadow, right? People, you got to do your shadow work. You got to do your shadow work. But you just have to balance the shadow because it's not going anywhere. Like it's a part of you. That's like saying we got to get rid of the root chakra. We got to get rid of the root chakra. Like it's a part of the whole dynamic of things. So dark energy or shadow, whatever the shadow side of you is, it's necessary to bring forth balance. Everything has a correspondence, everything has a polarity, everything has an opposite. So that is just a part of duality. The thing is
right,
balancing it, in my opinion. Um, I was a someone was saying something earlier about it was in reference to dark beings or bad beings or the bad guys or whatever. It's always going to be a bad guy. There's always going to be a good guy. Basically, they're just telling you variations of energy, of positive charges or negative charges. And I don't think one can exist without the other, because what it does, it creates growth through a contraction and expansion. I think we're going through a contraction phase where we are, like labor pains. Something is about to be reborn. We're giving birth to a whole new paradigm, a thought, a consciousness, or whatever you want to say it. So these are the contractions that we're feeling now, before an expansion can take place. So I want to bring on David. David, open up. You can unmute yourself. I didn't mute you, and introduce yourself, who you are, and what you got for us today, Mr. David.
Hey, salute everybody. Thank you for having me, Mama T. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you
Um,
too. Thank you.
ba- yeah, basically, I'm just a historian. I teach the truth about history, and I study the Bible, and I think that the Bible is actually a true history book, and it is an extension of what we know now today as the Sumerian pantheon, the Sumerian stories.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Most High is not these gods that is written in the Sumerian tablet. Even the Sumerian gods used to call the Most High the creator of all.
Mm-hmm.
So, we all have to take a step back and be like, maybe he intended everything to happen so we could progress and come out of this.
In phases, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Um. So the you're saying this is. You said the Bible is like an extension of the Sumerian
hmm
text. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah, it talks about the war in heaven, but in ancient times. And even in the book of Revelation, there's war in heaven, and then Michael destroys the dragon and all that. It's a story that repeats itself. It goes on, and like in the ancient pre-flood era, it was a bunch of workers from the Anunnaki that were digging for gold, and then they rebelled, and then that's how we came about, and then in the end, their children, their offspring started warring with each other after the flood. So this is this war that they call war in heaven. It's just something that goes on and on and on. And we as a
Obviously.
people, yeah, and we as the people is being manipulated. Like there's somebody behind the scenes pushing things a certain direction.
Mm. That's interesting that you said that. Somebody behind the scenes pushing things. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that may be us in another form? Like, do you think we are avatars of something else, our higher self that can be controlling this whole thing? Because we have these. Everyone has a consciousness, or a soul, so to speak. Um, and when you pray or you meditate or you go within and you try to connect to your source, your creator of all things, um, do you think that's a version of your highest self? Do you think that we're the ones controlling this thing from a different dimension, or
It's all of the above, I think. For
yeah.
one thing, when you read the Bible, right, God reveals, he says that he will speak uh, to Moses even apparently, meaning like Moses is going to appear to you as if he is God. So avatar, like, yeah, like God has a way of connecting to us where you don't even realize like he's speaking through you. So it's very avatar like.
Yeah. Now, do you think the stories of the Bible are literal, or do you think they're metaphorical?
Nah, it's very real. Look at what's coming out now. These UFOs. I never studied any UFOs in the Bible, but it's there. It's written in there. It talks about
But
how
they're written
the
from other texts, though, aren't they? Like,
yeah, passed down through history. Yes.
yeah.
It talks about how the Israelites had to follow a pillar of fire by night, something glowing in the sky at night while they're migrating and stuff like that.
So
So
these are
what is it?
so from you said are like things are like cyclical. Things go in cycles. So are we repeating another cycle that may have been written from previous texts? Are we pro,
I believe so.
are we predictive programmed? Are we doing predictive programming by carrying out a script? Like, are we manifesting this thing?
Yeah, everything is a manifest. The evil that's being done was already written. The good that's being done was already written. We're just in a play playing it out. And nobody really knows who they are until the end.
Oh, that was some good ass tea. Let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, baby. Make sure you try some of Mama T's Wellness Blends today.